So it seems that Honda can't make a bad move at the moment. And with the launch of its new 2022 Africa Twin-based NT 1100 and the awesome CRF 1100, it's rumored that Team Red's looking to further expand its Africa Twin family with the introduction of the long-awaited new Africa Twin Enduro Sport. For those of you that can cast your mind back to the 2016 EICMA bike show, we got our first glimpse of this new enduro bike, and let me tell you, it had almost everything you'd expect. But just before we get into that, let's take a quick look at where this bike fits into the family red. Built off the Honda CRF 1000 Africa Twin, the new Enduro Sport will be expected to expand on the Africa Twin family, not to mention help attract more riders into its dirt track cult. To do this, Honda's taken one of the most off-road competent adventure bikes on the market, and has raised its dirt credentials to the next level. So what do we mean by that? Well, to start with, Honda states its R&D department have come up with several lighter weight chassis components. But of course, Honda being Honda, they're playing their cards very close to their chest, and haven't specified which components they are talking about yet, apart from saying they were initially developed for the Honda CRF 450 rally race bike that competes in the Dakar Rally. The styling of course takes on a slightly more aggressive approach, especially with the revised headlight assembly, that along with a new windscreen and fairings, that get a style update to give it a more sportier look. The bike's now sporting a very eye-catching Termignoni exhaust system that gives it a sort of utilitarian vibe. We think the effect's quite stark but also very appealing, and overall takes on the look and feel of the Africa Twin with a lighter, more sporty enduro attitude. So we probably don't need to go into the engine specifications of this bike too much, as we already know it produces just over 100 brake horse at 7,500 RPM and 105 Nm of torque at 6,250 RPM. That, to be honest with you, is probably more than enough to put a smile on most riders' faces. The Enduro Sport gets an impressive lightweight but tough aluminum skid plate, while a pair of ultra-lightweight carbon fiber wings protects the DCT transmission from the type of damage that can be inflicted when high-speed off-road riding. And very importantly, it gets a healthy sound output and improved engine performance from that Termignoni race-ready pipe that we just mentioned. Beefing up the front end, there's a pair of X-Trig Rocks triple clamps that feature an innovative and ultra-strong clamping system for the forks, as the bike's suspension's more than likely going to need to be able to take some serious hammer when you're in full-on off-road mode. While the standard Africa Twin has tube tires, this off-road ready Enduro Sports model has a 21-inch tubeless XL wheel at the front that, coupled with an 18-inch at the rear, gives great stability to the bike when dealing with the toughest of terrains. And to help you keep your grip, a pair of HRC off-road foot pegs helps the rider stay firmly planted to the bike. Even though the CRF 1100 Africa Twin may be one of the most competent adventure motorcycles on the market to date, this new Enduro version would suggest that Team Red's looking to step things up a notch or two, and offer a more off-road focused dirt warrior, with a more go-anywhere attitude. To cut weight, carbon fiber's been liberally applied to the Honda Africa Twin Enduro Sports, giving it a lighter, more nimble and controllable stature. And I guess that's one of the reasons why Honda's R&D department based in Rome have lovingly nicknamed the bike the African Queen of the Desert. Now let's take a quick look at the other things you need to know about this bike. So to start with, the seat height of the bike's 792 mm or 31.2 inches, that makes it just under 1.5 inches lower than the current 2021 CRF 1100 Africa Twin. And while we don't as yet know the manufacturer, the bike's been slated to have a 41 mm upside-down fork setup with spring preload adjustability, and 107 mm of travel, while dual shocks to the rear, again with spring preload adjustability, should deliver a competent suspension setup. Moving on to the brakes, the concept shows a single floating disc to the front with a 4-pot caliper. However, this is likely to change to a twin setup for a production model. While at the rear, you get a single 456 mm disc with single piston caliper. We're expecting the bike to keep its 6-speed gearbox and chain final drive configuration. Overall length of the bike comes in at around 2,100 mm, with a wheelbase of 1,491 mm that will clearly give this new model competent proportions. And with a fuel tank that holds just shy of 15 liters, you should be good for a few hundred miles. So don't forget that your thoughts will always be welcome, and we would love to hear your views on this upcoming bike that will hopefully be joining the Africa Twin family soon. And for those of you that are enjoying our content, we hope you will consider making a subscription to our YouTube channel, and I'd like to thank you all very much for watching this review, and look forward to seeing you back at the channel soon.